Alright, everybody, so here's the deal. When it comes to this particular series, which is obviously the garbage patch and, stellar trash or whatever you want to call it, we're kind of at an impasse. We got the Scourge, we're fighting them back constantly, etc., and I'm kind of like trying to push them back as much as I can. However, right now, and I know that a lot of people agree with me on this, is that it's starting to become a little bit boring. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and actually play the game and get to something that is actually interesting from a viewing point of view, and everything in between I'm just going to fast forward, because nobody wants to see fleets just bouncing back between systems for 20 minutes or for like 15 episodes in a row, and then basically have nothing to actually talk about during that entire sequence. So yeah, so what we're going to do right now is I'm going to continue playing. I'm going to put everything in fast forward so you can actually see kind of sort of what's going on. I'll try to squeeze it into like a minute, maybe 2 minutes or something along those lines. And then once something interesting happens, like we get something good from the Shroud, or we finally push back to Scourge or something along those lines, then we can talk again. So enjoy the really fast show. We're going to go and continue onwards and try to fight back to Scourge as much as we can in fast forward. and we are back. So, after about 100 years of gameplay, about 4 hours long, which you saw the last 5 minutes of, I've come to the conclusion this is becoming a nigh impossible job to do. The Scourge are constantly spawning new fleets. They are constantly basically pouring into my territory. You can actually look at this, observe. As you can see, the Scourge are pretty much all over the place, but mostly confined to my territory for no reason whatsoever, which is, I find, a little bit strange considering this is where their territory is, and this is what they would normally try to grow. So, I have come to the following conclusion. The conclusion is that for every single world they take, we step back. They destroy entire worlds. We step back. The line must be drawn here, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Now, considering we are psionic, we have the chance of getting the ultimate Shroud event, which is the end of cycle. However, it is an extremely rare event chain that only pops up once you have access to the patrons. So far, I haven't had a lot of luck with that. So, instead, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to pretend that we are going to seance our way through and do a last resort sort of thing. Because if we're not going to win, nobody is going to win. So, let's take a look here. Events. It needs to be this one right here. Yeah, I have a file open in front of me right now. Okay, there it is. Utopia event 3308. So, there it is. The Shroud. The presence was waiting for us. It is the end of cycle, and it has always been waiting for us. Our telepaths suddenly speak in unison. A dozen voices in a perfect chorus. It is not yet your time, but it could be. Nothing is more said, but a bargain has been offered. We know that much. Power, knowledge, and wealth beyond measure are ours for the taking, and will only bring forth the end. Let's form a covenant with the end of cycle. It will give us 600 months of basically 50 years. Food production will go up by 100%. Empire mineral and Empire energy generation will go up by 100%. Unity, which we don't care about, goes up by 100%. Influence goes up by 100%. Research and naval capacity goes up by 100%. Do not do this. Let's do it. It is done. We have formed a covenant with the end of the cycle. As it took its bargain, 2 words, and only 2 words were spoken. 50 years, then silence as we were left to contemplate the future consequences of what we have just brought ourselves into. Or what we just brought onto ourselves. Cool. Let's heal the fleet. We have a gigantic amount of minerals and energy coming in. Let's take a look at all of our worlds. They should be shroud marked. Oh, they are shroud marked. This fleet right now is being healed. We're going to go and make it fast.
Construction complete.
Because we cannot afford to lose more worlds, basically. Sadly, fleet power is not one of the modifiers involved. Which is a bit of a shame, but that's how it is. However, we can construct a ridiculous amount of ships right now, which is exactly what we're going to do. Our fleet power is humongous. Our energy income is, in fact, humongous. Every single month, we'll be able to go towards the traders and get more minerals. More minerals to do whatever we need. What's up?
You said humongous and didn't say Papa bless.
Papa bless, humongous. Harassment, something, something.
Construction complete.
Alright, cool. So we have the ability to generate a massive amount of stuff right now. The end of cycle blesses us. Okay, we're gonna ignore this for now. We're gonna go and take our military fleet. And actually, this was probably not a good idea. We're gonna go and streamline this a little bit. Do I actually even... There's no cruiser yard here. Interesting. So, let's turn that into a cruiser assembly yard, because we kind of need that. And in the meantime, we're going to send our capital fleet into a position where we can actually use it a little bit more effectively. We're going to take out the enemy capital world, or one of the enemy capital worlds. The main capital world is in the middle of territory that we cannot get to.
Research station lost.
But we're losing everything. We're being pushed back at almost every single step, which is obviously not a good thing.
Ship under attack.
That's not good.
Building ruined.
But yeah, there is blobs of fleets everywhere. They are up in here. They're up in here. We really need to do something about these ones. But thankfully, due to the blessing of the Shroud, we will be able to do what we need to do to save the galaxy from the onslaught that is coming in towards the general direction of everybody in the galaxy. So we're going to build as many ships as we can. Wow, we can build so many.
Hostile fleet
Man.
engaged.
Alright, we've engaged the hostile fleet.
Spaceport engaged. Situation log.
Enemy capital world, we have 97 cruisers. We're going to boost that up to at least 200
Situation
with battleships in tow. I'm not entirely sure what these guys are doing right now, but they're basically going after all the small stuff.
complete.
Let's bomb this world into oblivion. Be done with it. Is it a little bit cheaty? Maybe. Is it fun? Abso-friggin-lutely. And that's exactly why we are here. We have invoked the end of cycle, as you can see as well. End of cycle. There will be a reckoning. Let's hope it's...
Research complete. Building ruined.
Alright, cool. Alright, so we need to figure out where most of this stuff is coming from. We know there is a station over here. We will be able to push him back quite quickly now, hopefully, with the sheer amount of fleet power that we have available to us, which is exactly what we want anyway. More cruisers, more time. Okay, let's go after this brood. We kind of need to take out the broods that are on multiple planets. We should also start adding more corvettes as well. So let's build a advanced corvette design. That is perfect for this. We need a lot of armor and shields, so the interceptors will be doing just fine. We'll lose a lot of them, like a lot of these frigates, but in the end, or that will be what is necessary. And of course our technology as well, so we can get energy weapon speeds a lot faster.
Hostile fleet engaged.
And weapon speeds obviously is...
Destroyed.
Wait, what? That's not what I wanted.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Our main problem is obviously these Scourge missiles in general. But we should be able to wreck them very quickly. Especially with all these flaks that we are having as well. I've added a couple of battleships into the mix that use nothing but the glory of fast-firing, rapid-fire weapons. We can take a look here. Is it this one? The Grand Trash. Got a lot of Grand Trashes, actually. Grand Trash, yeah, Stormfire battleships, which uses nothing but Stormfire weapons. Which are basically designed to put a lot of fire on the field very quickly. Okay, we are basically ready to talk to the Mutagen Guild once again. More minerals. More minerals, more good. Okay, we don't have a cruiser yard here. We need to do something about that. Crash, Trash Refuge. All of our core worlds are basically cranking out ships like mad at the moment. We will follow up on that. 97 core cruisers. We're currently sending the fleet back to heal. It's not necessary right now, but we're getting an additional 2K of fleet power per minute right now, which is pretty good. Obviously, there's a lot of cost involved in this, but that's sadly how it is, I'm afraid. The things we do to push back the enemy. And sadly enough, we do not have the capability of adding more any sort of non-pacifistic items to our stuff. Let's take a quick look here at our factions. Alien Rights Party. I like that's gonna happen. Imperial. What is this? This is a authoritarian. So we can't embrace them just yet because we need a 20% value there, and that's gonna take time, which is a shame. The other one, a xenophile, is not something that I want at all.
Complete.
What's this? These are the military. Okay, why are we... Okay, we're promoting this faction right now. But the happiness is pretty low, so... Okay.
Construction complete.
Thankfully, due to the end of cycle, we can add a lot of fleets very quickly. It's exactly what we need to do. More cruisers, more everything.
Hostile fleet detected.
156,000 fleet power. With a little bit of luck, we can talk to the Shroud again and try to get a little bit of shield boost somewhere. But still, right now, we should be able to engage them very efficiently and take them down very quickly. One cruiser lost.
Situation log updated.
Okay, we lost nothing in that fight. That's good. We're down to 99%.
Construction complete. Research complete.
Additional core sector systems. What do you want? You want like... No, I'm not interested. And thankfully, because of everything, how it now works, we can get a lot of minerals very, very quickly. Thank you, End of Cycle, for making all this stuff possible. Ego's planet is not an option right now. What's the difference here? Combat speed. Oh wow, the shield recharge rate on the is pretty damn high. Interesting. Upkeep is just minimal though, so that's not really a problem. But we're gonna need to take out some of these blocks of 3 armies that are just floating around, and we need to have a good entry point as well. So next up, we're gonna go and send them into here as soon as all these cruisers and small craft have joined up with the main fleet.
Hostile fleet detected.
Is end of cycle a good idea? No, no, absolutely not. We're gonna lose everything. That's how it is. Armor, absolutely. But it is a necessary. It's a necessary sacrifice. What do you want? You want to build a federation? I'm not really interested in that. Let's take a look. Considering our fleet power, we could probably invite these guys to a federation.
Federation formed.
Nice. Okay. So, did it cost us some fleet power? Yeah, sure. Do we have an absolutely gargantuan amount of resources being thrown into the mix? Yes.
Hostile fleet detected.
It should be able to support us now, because there's enemies in our territory. Therefore, the fleet should support us. We're losing cruisers quite rapidly here. A couple of small corvettes as well being lost, but they can dodge a lot of the firepower. 108 cruisers. That's so many cruisers. Oh wait, do I have the Federation fleet? Yeah, I do have the Federation fleet, but I'm not going to build any of it. It doesn't exist right now. Protector of the Valley, my ass. Ooh, I don't want to lose a Dreadnought. That would be bad.
Situation log
Not I'm going to lose it, but...
Situation log updated.
How many ships did I lose there? 21 cruisers. They lost 3 fleets. And we're just constantly adding more ships to our lineup. Which means that we are in a far superior position. Besides, we can just get humongous amount of minerals every single time we go to the enclaves and just get more minerals. Like at this point, it's a lot easier to
Hostile fleet detected.
rebuild our fleets. Man, ooh, no.
Construction
Ooh, that would have been... This button is really dangerous. As I just realized, I almost disbanded my entire capital fleet. That would have been bad. Wow, that's so many cruisers. There's constantly more cruisers being added to the line. Are my allies helping out? That is the real question right
Evading
now.
hostile fleet.
Because I don't think they are. Where are they anyway? I don't think they even have a fairly large fleet. Where is their capital fleet? Wow. 900,000 fleet power. 232 battleships. Oh my fucking god. Why are you not helping me? Oh my lord. Okay, well that's unfortunate. We need to go after some of the larger packs. There's a double pack over here. We need to have a better entry point into the system though. This is actually a pretty decent one, so we'll just jump into here. There's a third one coming in. The problem with the Scourge is they have an advantage at range, which is something we want to avoid as much as possible. And like I said, we're just constantly adding new ships towards the fleets. And these guys are just trying to shut down some of my smaller... Oh, you're jumping out, you cheeky bastards. That's good for us, though, because if we can track them, that means we can jump right on top of them wherever they're going and engage them at point-blank range. When we are at point-blank range, we are at an advantage. Which is exactly what we want. What are our losses here? 6 corvettes. That's doable. Okay, so you guys are over in here.
Construction complete.
Let's see if we can engage them again at point blank. This is very close range as well.
Evading hostile fleet. Construction ship under attack.
Nope, those are Federation cruisers. We don't want those.
Spaceport lost.
Whenever there is a stack of at least 2 or 3, we want to go and take them out as fast as we can.
Complete.
Like up here, there is stacks of like 4 that are more difficult to counter. Gesundheit.
Hostile fleet detected.
Okay, so let's build a Corvette assembly yard here. I feel that we're in a better position now. End of cycle. Can I not talk to the Shroud at all anymore? Oh, I can. Okay. A presence. Increase sensor range. I'm good, thanks. It's a risky one as well. So.
Evading hostile fleet.
Okay, so here's a stack of 2. Here's a stack of 1. We'll definitely need to take care of that one. Oh, there's 4 of them over here. There's 3 of them over here. There's 1 of them over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into here and then jump into here. And let's hope we don't lose too many ships too quickly. We got a lot more cruisers now. Our fleet power is up to the 170. But if we can take out these 3, we'll be in a better position. Especially considering we'll be jumping pretty much right on top of them. The tachyons can take care of the first amount anyway, but yeah, these missiles is what causes the biggest problem. Like they can just do volley after volley after volley. Like we can take out their strike craft quite quickly and efficiently, and their main fleets die very rapidly as well. 118 corvettes, cruisers. Excuse me? Excuse me? Ooh, I don't want to lose the Dreadnought. If I lose a Dreadnought, that would be bad.
Situation log updated.
Okay, it's no longer being targeted. It's past the firing line.
Situation
Okay, another system liberated. How many cruisers did I lose? 16. That is a lot of cruisers. But like I said, we can just go to the Riggins, get more minerals, and rebuild almost as fast as we're losing them. Which is pretty much what we need anyway. Okay, so we managed to take out 4 with fairly significant losses, but nothing that cannot be overcome, I feel. Like, it's as long as we can just slap down these smaller fleets, we should be okay. But right now, it is... Jesus Christ, there's just more of them are flooding in. Like, we need to destroy their fleets faster than they can rebuild. And we need to rebuild our stuff faster than they can rebuild their stuff. Which is obviously an issue. Unrest, really? Oh, that's because you're goddamn. That's some xenomorphs. That should at least keep them under control. Let's build some more cruisers. 114 cruisers. And we're in a good spot. Okay, cool. Oh, there's 4 of them here. And there's 3 of them in here. Where are they going? Okay, so you guys... If I jump in here and then... engage them like this. Yeah, that should be fine because we'll be right on top of them. And the 3rd fleet will be at a range, so that's not going to be a serious problem. You should be able to jump right on top of them now anyway. There they are. So Plasma instantly leaves the firing bays. We're doing damage a lot faster than they can regen. We're already in an advantage right off the bat. Again, the Dreadnought is taking quite a lot of fire. But with a double fleet, it shouldn't be a big problem. We're losing a couple of cruisers here and there, but that's not the end of the world. As long as we can take these Praetorian fleets out faster than they can regenerate, that's all I care about. Okay, so there's the 3rd fleet coming in. We need to take down all their strike crafts with our flak cannons. That's another one down. 113. Oh god, the strike craft are right on top of the fleet. Dangerous, very dangerous. How's the Dreadnought doing? Okay, 3 fleets down. How many losses? Only 6 cruisers. That's a better result, to say the least. And we can just constantly build more and more and more and more. Thank you, End of Cycle, for making all this stuff possible. Effectively doubling our economy. Ooh, a new presence. The Orasians, no, they are unworthy. We're just gonna build all the corvettes on the world. And these are, we're not using naked corvettes because they would die a little bit too quickly in my opinion. But still.
Enemy troops landing.
Wait, what? Where? Okay, we've got more than enough ground support to take care of that. That's not an issue.
Construction complete. Evading hostile fleet. Okay. Enemy invasion defeated. Spaceport lost.
I'm just healing the fleet.
Updated. Construction complete.
We're a little bit over our fleet power at the moment, but our economy can handle that. Okay, so there's 4 of them in here.
Building ruined. Hostile fleet detected.
4 fleets. Can we take 4 fleets is the real question without losing the Dreadnought. Because the Dreadnought's going to be tanking most of that firepower. And we're throwing in a lot of corvettes as well.
Lost.
Where's
Situation log updated.
Federa. Yeah, they're getting further and further into my core systems. That is unfortunate. Yeah, there's those four, that blob of 4. There's another blob of 4 over here as well.
Hostile fleet detected.
Fuck it, let's do it. We're gonna go versus 4 Praetorian Scourge fleets. Let's hope that we'll have the ability to hold to destroy them quickly. Alright, here we go. We're not in plasma range yet. We're in tachyon range though. 132 cruisers. The main thing is that the Dreadnought will try to rush the lines very quickly. And the corvettes, well, they're just here to flank, I guess. Wow, this is a cloud of attack ships that are just being annihilated. Like, not as fast as I would hope, but still. Right, the Dreadnought's about to take some fire.
Building ruined.
We may need to retreat the fleet. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Okay, alright, I see how it is. Okay. We're gonna wrap up this episode here. We have done significant damage to their sub-fleets, but still, we're going to go and wrap up this episode here. The end of cycle is here. How long do we have? The end of cycle. 15,918, 15 days. There will be a reckoning. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and, of course, each other.